Hello, welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days, and we are beginning this reading for Monday, October 30th, and then we're moving into the first week of November. We finish on November 5th. So welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And on Monday, the 30th, the moon will be in Gemini. And then we'll end with that Sunday, the 5th, with the moon in Leo. So we're moving from air to fire, going through some water in there as well. So during the week, we have Venus trine Uranus on Halloween. And that could be kind of fun and quirky for that holiday. Enjoy your costume, get dressed up. Could be quirky romantic stuff, or, just having fun with the glamour of the whole thing and being unique, being yourself. That would be the Uranus part. And then by Friday, we have Venus opposite Neptune, and that could be some illusions around relationships, around romance. Somebody could suddenly disappear, things like that could get a little weird. So maybe not the best day for a date. But then on Saturday, Saturn turns direct. And it's been retrograde for a while, so this can be an indication that the work we have been putting in since Saturn went retrograde will now be rewarded. So something in that regard should come forward, start to move forward. It's in Pisces. It got, excuse me, almost all the way back into Aquarius. So the very early degrees of Pisces. And, that's kind of a weird combination. It's a heavy energy of get things done, be disciplined. And then when you put it with Pisces, which is kind of the opposite, can be spacey, creative, way out there. But we can use that energy for being disciplined in a creative project, being disciplined with our spirituality, maybe making commitments, things like that. So that's kind of our week astrologically. And in terms of the cards, wow, what a difference from last week. This time I'm using the Golden Tarot. And last week I'd used the Golden Dawn. This is a very different deck. And right away we have 4 majors. So a lot of strong energies came up this week, whereas last week it wasn't that so much. We had more minors. And we have some absolutely lovely cards this week. So we start with the Lovers on Monday. So, it's the Gemini card. So it could, be reflecting some kind of twinning in a way, the Gemini twins. It can be partnerships, agreements with people. We have another echo of this later in the week. Of course, it can be, meeting someone, connecting with someone, strengthening a relationship that already exists. So if that's your focus, this can be really good energy for that. And if it isn't your focus, then again, looking at connections with people, potentially what agreements that we have made. And, we can watch for those to be spoken and unspoken, so maybe be aware of that. When we get to Tuesday, we have a 2, and this is a sword. So we went from a major, the 6, the Lovers, to a minor. And this one is often associated, hope that wasn't a little glitch there, it might have been, excuse me, a little battery issue. The Two of Swords is often associated with decisions, I started to say. Coming to a crossroads in some ways. Sometimes you'll see the person holding the swords. We don't have that here, but sometimes there'll be a blindfold in the sense of going inward to make a decision, trying to make a decision that is fair, impartial, but some kind of choice, maybe a different path on our Tuesday. And it's a very mental energy because of being swords. Wednesday, we have our second major of the week of our 4, and this one is strength. You see here the person with this beastie in her lap, and this sort of chariot, or excuse me, not chariot, but horse that's coming behind, perhaps a warrior on that horse. And this one often has a meaning of not conquering your demons, but integrating your demons, that we find strength in our shadows. That's a place that we're taught in many ways to shun, not pay attention to, but it can be a source of strength, as it says here, a place where we feel fully integrated. And, the 8 is that infinity sign turned, vertically. But I feel like that is about the wholeness too, that this card can represent when we can integrate those shadowy parts that give us strength as well. By Thursday rather, we have the 8 of Cups. So 3 minors this week. This is our second one. We have moved from that mental energy in the swords to an emotional, psychic, intuitive, unconscious kind of energy. The 8 here, and of course it's our second 8 because we had 8 in the strength, the major. This 8 can be walking away. It can be leaving something behind. It can be making a very conscious decision to let go of something for a higher purpose. Sometimes those decisions are easy, sometimes they're not. They can feel a little painful, but I feel knowing that that's what's going on, and that it is time to make, and again, it might be a sort of emotional choice, something that is, good for our well-being, to leave behind, can happen on that day. So that's our Thursday. And then on Friday, this is the card that I was saying is an echo of the Lovers. Sometimes this 2 of Cups is referred to as love. Some people associate that more with the Ace of Cups, but I think it belongs to very much to this one as a pair. And because it is cups, of course, it's emotional, it's romantic, intuitive, psychic, all those things that we associate with the water element. And we had another 2, so we've got 2 2s, 2 8s this week. So there's definitely pairing going on. We're going to come up to another 2 as well, but we've got 2 minor 2s here. So this also, obviously it can be love, it can be romantic love, it can be any kind of connection with another person where there's love. It also can relate to contracts, agreements with people in that way. So that's a Friday energy, which is interesting because that's the day that, I'm going to check my notes here, that Venus is opposite Neptune, so watch for some illusion around that. We continue with our 2 theme on Saturday, and we're back to a major. So this is the 3rd of our 4 majors this week, and this is the High Priestess. Very strong intuition, very psychic. Her task, and it's somewhat reflected here, is to bring knowledge down. The esoteric knowledge, the psychic knowledge, should be somebody more connected to Neptune, perhaps Uranus, bringing those, far out kinds of pieces of energy, information, and bringing it down into a code in some way, into a form. Often you'll see here with a book like you do here. And she has channeled that book. I wouldn't even say written. It's not really been dictated exactly, but it comes through her. She's a conduit for that kind of energy. So you could be very into your intuition on Saturday. You might even feel a bit foggy, because it isn't a kind of energy that is about organizing thoughts in a way. It's about being open and letting things occur and seeing what comes up for you. And then we end the week, our Sunday, with the Chariot. So this is a number 7. So we had our 3 2s, we had our 2 8s, we had a 6, and now a 7. So the Chariot is about moving forward, and a lot of people associate it with a very quick forward movement, which I think is totally legit. Sometimes, like in this card, it feels a bit more stately, maybe a preparation to move. You can see that there's a sort of float here, and it's being pulled by a swan. So I don't think that's going to go really fast. There's this woman sort of posing up there. She's our charioteer. Even though she doesn't really have reins or anything like that, she has a staff she's grounding herself with. So perhaps a preparation to move forward after a week of connecting with others, a very strong week that way, making some decisions, maybe having some kind of 2 energy pairing, partnerships, things like that. And then by the end, getting ready to move forward into something else. And as I said, Saturn goes direct on Saturday with our High Priestess, and then maybe by Sunday, we are ready to move that energy forward. So to top it off, I have drawn a card, an oracle card from the Crystal Angels, and what we got was Moldavite, which is unconventionality. So Moldavite is really interesting. It says here, your unique qualities are an important part of your life purpose. It's okay to feel and be different from others. And of course, I always believe that. And I like that we got that reminder. And so if there's pressure to conform this week, know that being yourself is the most important. Maybe have fun on Halloween with a costume or something like that. Just be yourself. So the card reassures that your unique qualities are a part of your life purpose. It's possible that you've been teased or felt excluded for being different. Perhaps you've tried to change yourself to fit in and be normal, quote unquote. Yet doing so is betraying who you are and ignoring the blessings and gifts of your authentic self. So maybe that's part of what comes through this, that when Saturn has gone through Pisces, it moved in and then it moved backwards, and now it's going to move forwards again, that we can recognize some of the ways that we are different and appreciate that. So if it seems that your opinions and thinking style are not the same as those of other people, this is a sign of your creative ability. You have inventive, fresh ideas and talents the world needs. I so believe that. We really need everybody's talents right now for the good. What do we have to contribute to the upliftment, to the unity consciousness, to help move ourselves forward, to get into a more peaceful place, perhaps a more prosperous place, but coming from integrity, not, lording it over. I know that doesn't apply to you, but unfortunately applies to a lot of the world. So you're doing things in a new way, which will inspire others out of their stagnation. I think that's such an important word. So moving that energy, we're still in Scorpio season, of course, barely into Scorpio season. So there's a lot of transformational energy, shedding old skins, and embracing the new there too. So seek out other unconventional people so you won't feel so alone. And that makes so much sense for this week with all these, the Lovers, the Two of Cups love, the other twos, a lot of pairing kind of energy. So looking for that, friend, that companion, that coworker you vibe with more. So you may encounter like-minded people at clubs, conventions, and other gatherings focused upon areas aligned with your interests. So doing what you love and finding other people who love those same things. So like Moldavite, you are otherworldly. Yet, fortunately, there are many others who share your origins and points of view. It's just a matter of going out and finding them. And if we set that intention, it happens. It may take a long time, but it does happen. And maybe you'll get a good start on that this week. So I just want to read this last little piece about Moldavite. This clear green crystal is from meteorites, and the genuine stone is found only in the Czech Republic. Because of its extraterrestrial origins, Moldavite has such a high energy that some people feel spacey and ungrounded in its presence. Moldavite is a catalyst for lucid dreaming, astral projection, and meditations for world peace, which I think is, again, so important right now. So let's put some energy in that direction. Again, thank you so much for being here. Take what resonates for you. Let the rest go, especially in a general reading like this. And please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing if you haven't done that already. Beloveds, have a beautiful week. I'm wishing you the best one possible.